Hello and welcome to Howard's Cave of Wonder. I'm Chris, aka Howard Blues, welcoming you back down here to my Cave of Wonder and another crowdfunding review. I know I was really planning to take a break from this, but something popped up that I knew was in the works. I didn't know that it was going to happen like now, and it's here, and I feel obligated to do this. Why? Well, let's hop back into kind of the history of this show. Howard's Cave of Wonder wasn't always its own channel. I originally started this show as a spin-off on a different channel, Beer, Blues, and BS. It's a podcast I do with my good buddy Mark Kidder, and on that particular channel, I moved into this house. I was rebuilding my hobby room, and I thought, what if I made a vlog about this and maybe talk about some of these things that interest me in the hobby? Because at the time that we were doing the podcast, I was the board game guy. I was the painting guy. It's my hobby. But because I was kind of the only one interested in that, and I say that as in like of the regular hosts at that time. Local Geek, another friend of ours, joined us, and he's of that same kind of mindset as well. So like it has changed. But at the time, the only way I was going to get to talk about my hobby stuff and the hobby issues that I wanted was maybe to start my own thing. And so I started Howard's Cave of Wonder. It was kind of an interesting thing. It was a little bit of unboxings. It was crowdfunding reviews like this. It was very a little bit of the vlogging. I didn't do as much. Some little tutorials, things like that. And it was fun. But it kind of messed with us and the podcast and kind of the algorithm. And so that's why I split it off. And we got this channel that is purely dedicated to kind of this hobby stuff. The 7th video, though, on the original playlist of videos was one I did about how I review a Kickstarter campaign and the things that I look at. And it just so happens that the campaign I chose for that one was Mr. Torque's Arena of Badassery. It was a Borderlands game, a little arena battler. And I spent way too long. It was just like a 51-minute long video. I just watched it this evening to like, what did I say about the first game? And I maybe put the speed up a little bit because I'm like, oh my gosh, Howard, you talked a bit too much. Kind of like this intro. But I wanted to remember what I had said about that game because the sequel is now on GameFound. So Mr. Torque's Arena of Badassery 2, or the Invincible Arena, as it's also being called, is on GameFound. And I thought, I reviewed this. It was my first real kind of like Kickstarter review on the channel, or one of them, and it just seemed fitting that now that was like 3 years ago, and there's another one. So just felt like I should try it and give it a shot and go into it. And I'll talk about where I ended up on the first one in final thoughts. But let's dive into the page. Let's check out some Borderlands.
Welcome back to the Arena, Vault Hunter. Are you ready for the next season of Mr. Torgue?
Explosions! That's right. My Arena of Badassery is back. This time, I filled it with the biggest badass bosses from across the galaxy. Holy exploding ass cheeks and a scat biscuit! Look at those things! You better get a bigger gun, because you're about to enter my Invincible Arena!
Invincible Arena is a standalone boss battle expansion that pits epic raid bosses against an entire party of Vault Hunters.
You're gonna need guns so big that they require a pilot license and enough explosives to scare a volcano into retirement! Blast off their body parts before they swallow you like Grandma Flexington's gobbler pie!
The Malawan Crime Busters expansion introduces dastardly crime that you must solve while avoiding...
Is that a robot teddy bear with a gun? I approve this message! How are these glitter-coated Malawan nerdbots getting the billing over my chrome-plated death dancers? Look at that metal. It's so sexy, I want to ask it on a date. You know what's better than satisfying your sad FOMO-faced vault hunter? Break out of the arena! Recruit your gang and head into the Badlands.
Into the Badlands uses all your existing board game content for reaction-powered skirmish combat.
My explosions can never be contained. For the ultimate legends, I've got the most badass challenge yet. Photon's deadlier than a gunzerker's lunchbox. So suit up and blow this mother looter up.
All right, Borderlands, Mr. Torgue's Arena, a Badassery 2 by Monster Fight Club. So, to read this little thing here, back to the arena, Vault Hunters, with all-new Boss Battler, standalone expansion, Invincible Arena. But the carnage doesn't stop there, with all-new campaign expansions, skirmish battles, new gameplay modes, and more loot than you can carry. And if I sound excited, it's because I love me some Borderlands. I really do. It has been a goal of mine to find models and miniatures that fit that Borderlands aesthetic, so that I can work on painting them up in kind of that cell shaded manner. And I actually have a small pile, you can't quite see it on the little cam, but it's over here, of models that I thought could fit in with that. Let's look at this. What's interesting is, because I just watched it, so when I reviewed the first one, there was just 15 days left of that campaign, and they had raised just shy of $1 million. This one, where we have 20 days left, they've raised $300,000, 307, if you want to get technical, but $300,000 on top of their $50,000 stretch goal. The goal was reached in 16 minutes, 15 seconds for people who care about that stat. And we've seen some screenshots of stuff kind of going through on the scroll thing there. So this one is not taking off quite as fast as the first one. And I will say the first one ended up with a score of 7.5 on Board Game Geek, which, take it for what you will. I always have a tough time. It's why probably the first time, if you've watched a lot of these, you'll notice that I've ever quoted a Board Game Geek kind of review score. I don't tend to, because there are people who will just, even when the campaign is going like this, they'll start voting on the game, and it'll get 10s and 1s, from people who are maybe upset with the developer and are just review bombing the game, to people giving it a 10 just because it's like, it's a theme I like, or, I'm really hyped about this game, so I'm giving it a 10. And so there's some of that, just those sorts of practices, and so I don't really like it, but 7.5, it's not terrible. Let's dive into this. So Monster Fight Club, they were same makers as last time, 1 to 4 players, 90-minute playtime. The original, I think they said, was 60 minutes, so a little bit longer on this, and ages 14 and up. It's got some tags on here such as sci-fi, models, humor, action, video game theme, adventure, cooperative, multiplayer, and campaign. And we're going to get to see what's all being offered here right off the bat. It looks like 4 big boxes. Torque's Forge Blast, the Invincible Arena, Malawan, Crime Busters, and Into the Badlands. One of these I am really excited for. Spoiler. Now we get to see some arena with more brown hexagonal board. I know that the first Borderlands had a very brown palette, but games since then have gotten to be a bit more colorful, and I would have liked some variety. But that's me kind of being nitpicky. That's only seeing what looks to be 2 tiles. So we got some cards, we got some miniatures. So, my arena badassery explodes with standalone raid boss battles. So we're going for more of a boss battler, it looks like. New campaign expansions. Cool. One thing I've seen just as a comment on this is that there's not a great save mechanism in this, nor is there a great setup. So like if you're gonna do the campaign, you almost kind of got to do it consistently, like one right after another. Otherwise, if you jump to a random one, there's not a great way to figure out how to kind of level up to the appropriate level for the campaign. So I'm just sharing that. And badass skirmish battles. I'm read some text. Welcome back to the arena, Vault Hunters. It's time for a brand new season of Borderlands Mr. Torgue's Arena of Badassery, unofficially. Whew, it is late. Come on, Howard. An officially licensed cooperative board game for 1 to 4 players. They forgot an S there. There's a typo. Not all of it is me just speaking poorly. In the arena of badassery, you and your friends must defeat hordes of bandits, terrifying raid bosses, merciless robots, and other deadly challenges devised by Mr. Torgue for his and the audience's entertainment. This season, we are expanding your gameplay with 2 new campaign expansions, the Maliwan Crime Busters and Torque's Forge Blast. But this campaign isn't just about more enemies and more scenarios. It also brings you brand new ways to play with your existing collection. Invincible Arena is a standalone boss battler expansion, introducing raid bosses that are entire games onto themselves, while Into the Badlands takes your entire collection off of the game board and onto the tabletop with miniature skirmish combat. Yeah. Borderlands Mr. Torgue's Arena Badassery 2 has been a labor of love to new players and veterans alike, with brand new ways to enjoy your Borderlands collection and become legendary badasses. Why back now? Daily free loot content. Back now to get free miniatures and gameplay content. Free is always good, but I have a feeling you're going to pay for it, because that was, again, one of the critiques of the first one was that it was a very pricey game, and it did get a lot of comments during the campaign that it was just a cash grab, that it came with kind of an expensive price tag to just snag all these people who were really excited about a Borderlands board game. You could save up to $380. Save big with crowdfunding discounts compared to MSRP. Exclusive content. Get exclusives that can only be found on GameFound and at limited promotional events. Okay. Stretch pay. Yeah, you can split your payment into 6 easy interest-free payments. I do like stretch pay. And hey, we're getting right into the rewards. Invincible Arena at $85. Woo! There's a breakdown, so we'll see that down. But they estimate to normally cost $100. We have Veteran Hunter. At $175, this reward includes 3 new expansions for your games of Badlands, Mr. Torgue's Arena Badassery, Invincible Arena, Maliwan Crime Busters, and Torque's Forge Blast. It also includes all the daily bonuses revealed during this campaign. Yeah, that was one of the things in the first one. I'm just going to say, they had a base pledge. Well, let's go back up to that. And it was $80, and it got you the base game, but it did not get you any of the stretch goals. This does not say if you get them either. We'll find out. We'll keep that in mind. The all-in badass is $325. Get everything in the campaign. This reward is designed for veteran players who want all the new stuff and already have all the existing expansions from our previous crowdfunding campaign. The all-in loaded badasses. The all-in pledge gets you everything from this campaign and all the expansion content from our last campaign. So at $560, you can kind of get everything. And then the badass completionist, $650. Price tag normally of $1,060. This is for the person who needs everything. This pledge includes it all: the core game, every expansion, and even some awesome acrylic tokens. So you can pay $108 for 6 months to try to ease into it. And we have our add-ons, which has kind of the game at $10 more. Oh no, that's the first one. So yeah, you can get the original one for $95. Into the Badlands for $50. Following Crime Buster. Yeah, I mean, kind of each one is kind of in that $65 range. The loot chest, acrylic token pack, and the errata cards are free. Make sure you get those. Stretch goals, 2 of 23 unlocked, so that's not great. Next to unlock, daily bonus 3. So they're just kind of showing a bunch of daily bonuses. 23 daily bonuses. Already unlocked Vault Hunter teams and a Ducky Float Claptrap, which is awesome. And it's an exclusive. The daily bonuses. The daily bonus box will be packed with free miniatures and gameplay content that we reveal every day. So make sure you come back to see all the great loot you're getting for backing. More and more people are kind of going to this instead of stretch goals. They're doing kind of these daily unlocks. If they're truly something that is like a surprise, that's great. I have had some. There's one that I reviewed not too long ago where, like, they hit a majority of like the game content in like the daily unlocks, and so I can see it. I can't remember the game. Hopefully, Future Howard will maybe put an insert up. But I remember that. Oh no, I do remember it now. It was Valhalla. It was Blood Rage Valhalla, where they would show you the expansion, but then like they'd have the silhouettes of things, and so you didn't know what you were getting. Like, I didn't know if I wanted to back this expansion because I don't know what's in it. It's a bunch of silhouettes. Yeah, it was that one. Okay, anyway, it does show that they do have some exclusives. Every day will unlock new free bonus for all pledges, a veteran hunter and above. So you have to go at least veteran hunter to get those. If you get just the basic, you're not getting them, which is very much like the first campaign. We got the Ducky Float Claptrap, and then the cards, and then we kind of don't. I do like all the Claptrap art. That's fun. Kind of different, but fun. Okay, the rewards overview. Wow, we are blazing through this quickly. This seems like we're going pretty fast. The Invincible Arena Award. So it's $85. Final content is subject to licensor approval. A copy of Borderlands, Mr. Torgue. So you have to have the main game to play this. If you're a fan of the Boss Battler board games or just want your first taste of the Arena Badassery experience, the Invincible Arena reward is just made for you. This standalone expansion includes everything you need to play right out of the box, and the provided scenarios and gameplay variants will provide you with hours of entertainment. Invincible Arena is 100% compatible with your existing collection. You may use any Vault Hunter in your collection to battle raid bosses. Not only that, many of the gameplay variants featured in Invincible Arena, such as threats and explosions, can be used in any mission. And if that's not enough, Into the Badlands has cards to play the raid bosses in skirmish battles. Cool. So $175, because we've jumped pledge levels here. What did they call this one? Is this the veteran? Yeah, veteran hunter reward. So $175, it gets you the Invincible Arena, Torgue's Forge Blast campaign expansion, the Malawan Crime Busters campaign expansion, the daily bonus box. The Veteran Hunter Reward is designed for players who already own the core game of Arena Badassery, which is currently available on our website with campaign special pricing. Along with Invincible Arena, it includes 2 new campaign expansions, the Malawan Crime Busters and Torgue's Forge Blast. Also includes all the daily bonus unlocks. We have the All-In Badass for $325. So again, has the expansions, Invincible Arena, Torgue's Forge Blast, the Malawan Crime Busters, the bonus box. But then it also comes with Into the Badlands, the Skirmish expansion, and the Loot Chest exclusive, and the Wotan, which looks like a big chunky model. The all-in Badass Reward is for players with an existing Arena Badassery collection who want to get all of the new stuff, in addition to everything from the Veteran Hunter Reward. This reward includes the Tabletop Skirmish expansion Into the Badlands, the massive raid boss Wotan, and the loot chest, which provides you with a convenient storage solution for all your existing expansion content. The loot chest is more than just a storage solution. It also contains a treasure trove of new gameplay content, including tokens, loot cards, revised rulebook, and a scenario book. The scenario book explodes with brand new missions for all of Mr. Torque's Arena Badassery expansions, including the fresh challenges from the new releases debuting this campaign. New to the mayhem, jump into a solo game with easy-to-follow tutorial scenarios to teach you the ropes as you blast your way through them. 10 new bounty maps for a total of 20. Throw you into fresh kill zones packed with unpredictable firefights, brutal ambushes, and high-stakes hunts for glory. Crank up or tone down the difficulty levels of scenarios with optional variant rules, letting you fine-tune every fight with casual carnage to pure nightmare mode. Epic new boss battles await, packed with bigger expansions, badass enemies, and mountains of glorious loot. You see the product description for a list of all the expansions, and okay. We have the all-in loaded badass reward for $5.60, which again kind of has this page could have maybe be kept a little shorter in some ways. The loaded loot chest and the Wotan. So what's really the difference? Designed for the new player who wants to cannonball straight into the deep end, all-in loaded badass reward is just for you. This gargantuan pledge includes everything from the all-in badass reward, but the loot chest comes fully loaded with all of the Borderlands expansion content from the previous campaign, all at a discount that can't be matched. And then we have the Badass Completionist reward for $6.50, which gives you the Arena Badassery, acrylic tokens, and then Invincible Arena, all this stuff. Right, designed fresh off the ship. Vault Hunter, rookie badass who just showed up and wants to get down and dirty into the thick of it all at once. The Badass Completionist is the super ultra mega reward for the guy who is new but wants to take the Arena's championship in their first match. Eye of the Tiger indeed. The pledge contains everything from the all-in loaded badass reward and the core base game Borderlands Mr. Torque's Arena of Badassery. I just want to look at one thing, which I'm sorry, I have to scroll all the way back up here. I'll try and grab it here. So $6.50. $5.60. Yeah. I mean, basically, if you purchase that, you get the tokens for free. Because we know that the first one, they have priced at $95. So the tokens are kind of a bit free. It's kind of how to think of the discount, but that's otherwise the only difference between those. Okay. Borderlands Arena Badassery. Don't wait. Get Arena Badassery now. Save campaign specials. So you can also go to their website and get it. Products. Below you will find more information on all of the products available in the campaign. Every product is packed full of content and everything will come in badass packaging so you can display your collection with pride. We've also provided links to the updates we've made to each product so that they can read more details about them. Invincible Arena. It's the raid boss starter. Unleash the chaos of Invincible Arena, a badass standalone expansion introducing intense raid boss fights. Every battle is unique, featuring shifting boss modes and tactics throughout the battle. Complete with all the components needed to play right out of the box. It's a fast-firing, explosive way to experience Mr. Torque's Arena. So you get 4 Vault Hunters. You're getting Lilith. You're getting Krieg. You're getting Aurelia. And you're getting 0, and you're getting 4 raid bosses. So the Terramorphous the Invincible, plus 4 tentacle minis, Crawmerax, and Pyro Pete, and then Dexiduous, and 120 plus game cards. So we got raid boss actions, we got threats, and it looks like we got a bunch of feat-splosions. So just to give an example, remove your model from the arena and place it in any zone with an enemy that is not already full. So Okay, so these are kind of like feats, like you'd find in D&D and such. We got 150 plus loot cards. So we got guns, the ammo dump, Zed's meds, and Torque Legendary. We have other components. It's like 60-page rulebook with scenarios, tokens, loot bag, their reaction dice, because it has this reaction dice system, and arena hex tiles. One thing I will say, because it's the rulebook, hopefully the rulebook is better. That was another thing that I saw in a lot of the review stuff that I kind of quickly looked over, was that they had issues that. Oh, we're getting into the models. We got Aurelia cold as ice. So, gorgeous looking models. I have never had a model from these guys, so I can't tell you from any past experience what the quality of the model is, but these guys do look cool, and they do capture the essence of the Borderlands characters very, very well. With Krieg. Yeah. A meat bicycle built for two. So, cool. We got Pete the Invincible. I'm not gonna lie, the miniatures are really kind of cool things. So there's Crew Max, and they got Krieg shown for scale only. So I do like these spinning graphics that they got kind of going with it. There's Terramorphous, the Invincible. I mean, you gotta give it that. It's got some cool stuff. Okay, the Malawan Crime Busters. In Malawan Crime Busters, 4 new Vault Hunters bring truth, justice, and explosions to Malawan's criminal underworld. Solve cases and blow up bots in epic shootouts with the new crime mechanic, crushing villains in true Borderlands style. So you get 4 Vault Hunters. You get Rice, Marcus, Alex, which is kind of this robot teddy bear thing, and Fiona, plus Gordy's sidekick. Okay, and then you got some Malawan bots with 4 Billy Club bots, 4 deputy bots, 4 medic bots, 2 recycler bots, 4 bit bots, 2 fire bots. It's kind of cool. Sheriff bots, 1 Maxitrillion. 37 enemies, 13 bounties, 16 crimes plus case file, 11 legendary loot. Okay, other components, the campaign book, tokens, and tier O announcement. Okay, cool. We're gonna see the models. We got the Marcus. There's Fiona. This page is long, but I mean they're showing off a lot of cool stuff. And I mean, not every campaign gives you these big full renderings of models. So that's kind of cool. Torque's Forge Blast. Campaign battle waves of rogue Torque lead loaders in Torque's Forge Blast, a mayhem-filled campaign expansion packed with challenging scenarios, new game tiles, and 4 new Vault Hunters ready to blow things up. So we got Ellie, we got Vaughn, Octavio, Anu. I'm not gonna lie, these are not like the top characters that I tend to enjoy, so and I'm not as excited about getting those. Completionists to me would be like, oh, I gotta get them. We got 8 Torgue loaders, so we got 4 Torgue gunner, 4 Torgue exploder, 4 Torgue rippers, 2 Torgue trashers, 2 Torgue burners, 2 badass Torgue exterminators, 37 enemies, 19 bounties, 37 slaughter light or slaughter flight. I went a little too fast there. Slaughter light cards, okay, and 11 legendary loot. Cool. And some things such as the cam book, tokens, announcement, tiles, still brown. Yep. So let's look at the models. We got a new... Yeah. We got Vaughn. It's interesting. I haven't played Tales from the Badlands, but from what I understand, Vaughn is in Tales from the Badlands and not in his underwear. So, interesting. Octavio. So, and Ellie. And then we got Into the Badlands. And I'm not going to lie, this is the thing that I've been most excited about since I kind of saw it and read it up above. Into the Badlands Skirmish expansion. Break out of the arena into the Badlands. This expansion allows you to use all of your board game content in miniature-based tabletop skirmish battles. I think this is awesome. So you got a rule book, 2x limiters, 138 Vault Hunter cards, 31 Vault Hunters, 93 level ups, 14 companions, 58 enemy cards, 45 characters, 8 fodder, 5 raid bosses. I mean, I just love this idea of taking these models out and playing them in this fashion. The only thing that I'm about now is this is the thing that's exciting me, and there's a challenge, and I'll dive more into it in final thoughts. I'll save it. Then we got Wotan the Invincible. We are nearing the end of this. Maliwan unleashes the epic raid boss Wotan the Invincible. This exclusive massive Wotan miniature includes all of the game cards, tokens, and scenarios needed to play. This thing is big, it's chunky, cool. Then we got the loot chest, designed to hold all expansion content from our previous campaign. The loot chest is more than just a pretty box. Packed within this a trove of new gameplay content to update and expand your game. So we got the scenario book, 15 guns, 15 ammo dump cards, 15 Zeds meds, 15 Torque legendary, got some acrylic token sets, updated rules, revised rule book, which sounds like you need, errata cards, storage solution, trays and storage for the following expansion minis. So the box of Badass, Stretch Goals, Skate at the Gates, Robot Revolution, Best Mini Never, Tink Camp, Badassesaurus, Borderlands Object Pack, Borderlands Object Pack 2, MFC Obstacle Pack, MFC Objective Pack, Steve the Psycho, Ravenous Waddle Gobbler, and an exclusive Moxie. And then you get the loaded loot chest. For the player who needs everything, the loaded loot chest includes everything from the base loot chest, plus the complete expansions at a cost not to ever be seen. So it's everything, every Borderlands expansion from the original Kickstarter. So the scenario compendium and loot explosion, and you can just see there is just a bunch of miniatures and such. There's the box of badasses, the Skates at the Gates. There's all the clap traps from the Robot Revolution, the best minion ever, the Tink Camp. There's Badassesaurus. And then we have kind of all of the Borderlands object packs, an objective pack, Steve the Psycho, and the Ravenous Waddle Gobbler. All expansions include the models, game cards, styles, and scenarios from the original campaign. And then we got the Badass Completionist, which we've kind of already seen this, so I'm kind of going pretty fast because we've seen that. Okay, gameplay. Now that we're all the way at the bottom. Borderlands Mr. Torque's Arena Badassery and the standalone expansion Invincible Arena is built upon Monster Fight Club's acclaimed reaction system, below is a brief summary of the core play loop and mechanics, as well as playthrough video from Learn to Play. You can also find a more extensive overview at the How to Play update linked here. So we kind of got our overview. Each Vault Hunter has a card with their skills, abilities, and gear. Characters have green, yellow, and red actions. When you take an action, the color of the action determines if you roll a red D6, a yellow D8, or a green D12. Each time a character takes a wound, their action token immediately turns red. Take a wound while defending with a red action, and you are taken out. Range and distance is determined by color. Red, same or adjacent hex. Yellow, up to 2 hexes. Green, up to 3 hexes. When you're taking movement actions, you move up to the color of the action you took. Attacks and other actions have a color bar that shows the distances that can be used. When you take an action, roll the color die that matches the spent action. Roll and add your skill to the roll. Then we got some abilities here. Willpower, used to command and for psychic actions. We got medical, used for healing and medical actions. Ranged, use of ranged attacks. Reflexes, used for defending against ranged actions. Melee, used for melee attacks and defending against other melee actions. And tech, used for machinery and tech actions. Vault hunters roll a die and add their skill. An action is successful when their dice roll exceeds the target's result. And then we have Loot Explosion. If your action successfully destroys a target, draw a loot token from the loot bag. Pick up loot tokens to get guns, cash mods, ammo, bounties, and more. Enemies attack. Announcement cards determine enemy orders, spotting, and special events. Defeat your enemies and accomplish Torque's explosive missions to become a true badass. We also revised and reorganized the rule book based on player feedback, because as I said earlier, it's not good. To make it more useful than ever, you can download the revised rulebook for free below or on monsterfightclub.com. You can also get a print version of the revised rulebook as part of the loot chest. The Invincible Arena is a standalone boss battler expansion and includes everything you need to play against raid bosses right out of the box. Some of this is starting to get a little repetitive. There's our how to play videos and some playthroughs and some learn more. Below, we've organized the links for gameplay updates. You can easily read more about the expansion. So if you want to learn more, if this is kind of what you're interested in. Hobby. Borderlands Mr. Torgue's Arena Badassery isn't just a badass game. It's also beautiful miniatures that are a joy to paint. To make your games really shine, below is a selection of some of the incredible work done by our staff and community. Be sure to join our Discord to share your own work and see more. So we kind of got some of that set pieces and such. Train elements. Valder Jaeger, Adrian Soto, Claptrap, Krieg, and Maya figures by Angel Heraldez. A fantastic painter. Or coucher. So, kind of look through these real quick. I'm going really fast because I'm trying to get done. So, yeah, some nice looking figures. Like the unicorn. It's the Wobble Gobbler. And then there's a how to paint video. And how to do the comic style. Cool. And then we get into shipping. Yeah. And so you're looking at anywhere for just the base game 8 to 23, but if you go on kind of like everything, you're gonna pay like another 62. So, and then there's an FOQ, and then you can follow, and that's just kind of their social media. I think we are done. Woo! Let's go back to the main screen and get some final thoughts. Whew. So that was a lot to go through, and much like the last time, I'm really excited about this. It's an IP that I love. I do love the Into the Badlands. That alone, the idea of playing Borderlands characters and figures in a skirmish mini war game, awesome. All in, on that. I love that idea. The only thing that I am like about is I don't want necessarily the other game, the arena game, or the boss battler and the kind of the regular game. I just don't. It doesn't quite appeal to me. I didn't back it the first time, partially because of the money that they were asking for. It just financially did not work out. And the thing is, with like a skirmishing like that, you kind of want everything. And so I wish that there was, and I understand marketing and marketing's quite not the right word. The logistics of boxing things up and such. I get it. You can't just get like the miniatures. I would pay if there was a pledge where I could just get the skirmish game, the rules, and then all of the miniatures, and none of the other components except for like the what you need to play. So if I need dice, yes, if there the tokens carry over that. If there was just the skirmish mode pledge where you could get kind of all the miniatures and such that you could do that, I think I would be in 100%, because as I said, I've been hunting Borderlands miniatures. Way back, there was a company called Secret Weapon Miniature. They made some excellent paints and washes, but they did a couple of very closely copyright infringing miniatures. And I have from them 2 claptraps. I think they were like not a claptraps, but they're claptrap. I haven't painted them yet because I was hoping to always like find more things that could fit in. I even found a blog where somebody had turned like War Machine miniatures that fit, and like, hey, if you paint them this way and such, you could reproduce the original Vault Hunters from Borderlands. And I think I only collected 1 or 2 of those. Again, when I found that money was tight when it came to hobbying, and I just did not have it available to kind of go out and get those. So that part has me excited. The rest of it, not as much. And $600 to get everything and to basically have kind of that arena side of the game that I'm not going to play. That's a tough one to swallow. But I would love to get a set of, as I said, the miniatures, and to paint them up and to really do kind of that cell shaded cartoon style. I'd be all up for that. That is the thing that excites me. Is that part of it? The gameplay itself, I'm not too big on, at least the way that they have it. I don't know. It just doesn't speak to me. It doesn't excite me. It doesn't get me going, ooh, I gotta have that. But I do like that Into the Badlands expansion. And so if I could get away with, as I said, if they did a run that was that, I'd be all over it. But we'll see. I'll probably do some more thinking on it and debating, and we'll see. But let me know. As I said, whenever I do one of these, I could be wrong. I could be missing something. What do you think? Did you back this the first time around? Are you going to back it the second time? Do you like the idea of the skirmish game, or are you more into the board game side of it? Let me know. And if you think I'm wrong, yeah, you can tell me that too. I appreciate people who are willing to do that. If you made it this far in the video, thank you. Thank you for taking the time. You don't have to leave a like or a subscribe, but you could. I'd always appreciate it. As a small channel trying to constantly grow, I always appreciate when people do that. So with that, I'm going to get out of here because it's late and I got to get up and travel in the morning. I wanted to get this recorded while I could. So I'm glad that you again sat down and maybe took this in and listened in, and hopefully you'll share some thoughts. And with that, hopefully we'll catch you all back down here in the cave again next time. Good night, everybody.